Hi, welcome to the Everything Movie Podcast. I'm here with
Logan. What's up, guys? We're back.
And it's your boy Noah, and today we're going to be going over Nickel Boys.
This is the construct. It is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. This is the world that you know.
So basically, this is an adapted screenplay movie about a novel book that was set in the 1960s during the Crow laws, and it was racially segregated South in Florida. And it tells a story of Elwood, a bright, idealistic black teenager with dreams of college and a better future. However, his life takes a tragic turn when he's unjustly sent to a reform school. And the school is called Nickel Academy, and it claims to rehabilitate these boys, but instead hides a dark history of abuse and corruption.
So, I'm going to start with, it's not even a good or bad. I've read some reviews about it. The main reason why, besides the overall story, the first person type of cinematography that they use, it's very different. I've heard of either people.
Have you seen a movie like that before?
No, it's my first time I've ever seen a true first person. Sometimes it's over the head, but it's a definitely different style of movie. At first, I didn't like it. I do find it sometimes a little bit distracting. I do like the fact that sometimes, for example, some people might find it looking when he looks at the ground on a serious moment, with Turner, for example, who at the end, of course, takes over as Elwood. I do like how it shows the symbolism, they've been abused, they've gone through hard times of basically not having their life.
Very symbolic, heavy movie too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
With the horse, the alligator.
Describe to me the horse thing, just for people who want to hear about that. What did the horse look like, and what do you know what that kind of represented in the story? Well,
it kind of showed, to me at least, you kind of helped me out a little bit through the movie when it came to that part, because I didn't really fully notice the fact that it was famished. It hadn't been eating. It was torn down from being at this academy.
It was inside the school.
It's just been so tired of how the way it's been treated.
So it was super malnourished, and it was you can tell, you could see its ribs, and then its mane, which is the top part of the horse, was all fucked up, and a normal mane's supposed to be long and taken care of and brushed, and this mane was chopped up into pieces. What did the first person point of view do to you to make the movie better? How'd you feel that made the movie better or worse?
You get the emotional side of it. I think you are be able to see how they felt, and how if we were in that position, how we would feel.
Okay, so almost like a lens that we are seeing the movie through.
Yeah, and how for example the main character went through that, and how he overcame the obstacles, meeting Turner.
So it felt more personal, maybe immersive.
Yeah, I think it does a decent job acting. I saw a little bit of reviews that thought it was really well done. I don't fully agree with that. I think it's more directed on the impact that it writes as a story, less than what the character gives off.
What were some cons in the movie, if any? I have two.
Yeah, do you want to go with one of them? And
sure. They kind of tie in together, actually, but both of them will bring down the movie for me. One of them, for me, it was a very slow movie in my opinion, and it's not it felt like the movie was 5 hours long, but it felt like there were a ton of conversations in the movie, which was dialogue without intrigue, meaning it may have not been, some scenes were important, some scenes weren't, kind of thing, but you had to stay focused, because if you drift off, you may lose something that may be important further down the line in the movie. So it's just one of those things. It felt for me at least, how a teacher will be giving a presentation and they're doing lecture, you have to pay attention, because if you don't, you'll fail the test. So that's what it kind of felt like for me, because I'm I know that some of these parts of these movies are going to be a little disorientating or confusing. So I got to make sure I pay attention and get my A game on here, and I don't miss any details because of that. So I kind of got that vibe from the movie. How about you?
I mean, yeah, I definitely feel that way. That was probably my biggest thing, was how slow it was. I do think the third act of the movie definitely carries into why I like this movie a lot.
Third acts for most movie carry, to be honest.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it should.
Conclave, too.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I do think that...
Do you think it holds its weight, the first 2 acts?
Recently, like, it's either, to me, the third act is really bad and the second act is decent, but this second act, I do feel... I mean, it's just purely showing what they experienced, and I kind of wanted more emotions, and I wanted more intensive dialogue that we didn't get.
That's true. There wasn't I also can get behind that. I didn't really think about that during the movie, but I definitely thinking back on that now, definitely would have increased the emotional heights of the story. So the highs of the high and the lows of the lows. So yeah, that's a good point. What else do you have, if anything?
I mean, the cinematography was decent. Don't think it's anything out of the water. I mean, the first person part I do like.
Yeah, I think that's really the whole focus, right?
Yeah. Besides that, the cinematography isn't really anything crazy. I mean, you have your little symbol with the horse and the alligator, but that's besides the point. I don't think the colors really stick out to me too much. Besides maybe the black and white scene, but that's pretty much it for me.
Cool. Yeah.
Do you have any cons?
I guess another con that kind of ties in together. And this is nothing against the movie. This is like this is me. I personally don't enjoy those types of movies as far as just where the movie, not even how the movie's set, but just the style. If anything, it's not my personal favorite, but I can sit through it and be like, okay, like I can appreciate what they did here, and I felt that way. So I guess it's a pro and a con. So like would I go back and rewatch this movie? Probably not, unless it's something I want to... There were a lot of details in the movie to where you can start the movie and kind of pick up on those details you didn't pick up on the first time. So that might be a reason why I watch it. But to watch it because I'm like just so amped up for it is not for me.
We can go briefly into the Oscars because there's only 2.
Yeah. There's
the Best Picture, which is Best Overall Movie, as we know.
And an adapted screenplay, which means it's not original and got taken from either another movie or a book. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I think it did a pretty decent job with the screenplay. I do think it deserves a nominee. There's a little taste on like what happened back in the day. I don't really think it's really out of the water with its screenplay. I think it's just carried by... I mean, you have your writing with the story, but I think they kind of get grouped in together. I know how like we used to rank plot and writing to get like separate, but I think as far as the screenplay goes, I think that like means together. Yeah. So I think it's a pretty like overall together movie. I don't think anything truly sticks out as maybe some people make it out to be, but I think it's just pretty decent. I don't really... Do you think it deserves its nomination? As of now, maybe. Okay. I don't know. Maybe. So it's not a confirmed top 2, but it's like not a terrible or mid even to be like, okay, there are for sure other films out there. Okay. I don't think it deserves it in my opinion. It's just a bit too slow, and that's, I mean, I guess that can be also considered an editing mistake, but it's still screenplay. It's just super slow, really heavy like dialogue focus, but it really doesn't seem too important for some talking scenes, more just them bonding, if that makes sense. But I felt like we got a lot of that and not enough of the plot, if that makes sense, of where's this headed towards, you know. At some points I felt like there just wasn't a direction for the movie, and we're an hour and 30 minutes in when we're still thinking like, okay, they've been at this school but nothing has really happened besides them just experiencing bad things. We know there's going to be something, but I just wish we had more build up to the final scene. So you did say some other movie, might have been the Conclave ending was rushed. I forget what movie you said was the ending was rushed, or the build up to it was bad, but I felt like the build up for this movie, it was just not enough there. So I can't give it that.
Does it win Best Picture nomination?
So we have Conclave, A Complete Unknown, Sing Sing, and Amelia Perez for the Best Adapted Screenplay. Pretty heavy comp.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can put it in there if you want to. I don't think anybody would freak out if it didn't make it.
Do you think it deserves its Best Picture?
Considering there's 10 nominations, I don't hate it.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you some of the other like worst ones. Amelia Perez, dog shit. A Complete Unknown, promising. Mm-hmm. Conclave, did you say it deserves last time?
Yeah, I said Conclave deserves.
Yeah. Nickel Boys. You have I'm Still Here, which is supposed to be really good. The Substance, which I think it deserves. Dune Part 2 deserves. Wicked, who knows. Nora, I personally don't think so. And then Brutalist, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Final recommendation just for you guys. So basically, just for people who are new, it's either we'll tell you, hey, you should have watched it in theaters, but you're too late now, which sucks. But I guess from there we can say, does it need to go into something you need to watch right now on your TV? Or is it something that just don't watch it, don't bother? Go ahead.
It's definitely just that you don't have to. I wouldn't go out and buy it on streaming, but if it's free.
Oh yeah, I know you can do that would be a good one to talk about actually if we're talking about throwbacks. Mm-hmm. Buy, rent, or just don't watch.
I would wait. I don't think the whole entire first person aspect gets there for me.
Yeah, I agree. It's also just it's an okay movie, and if you feel like this first point of view from two different people strikes you as something that is interesting, go watch it. Mm-hmm. And then if you're like, I don't know, this kind of sounds like some bullshit, I want to see Transformers, Julian, then go watch your Transformers, and Nickel Boys may just not be for you. So yeah. Any closing remarks? We can give our rating, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going off a half point system, and hopefully Noah will soon. He's being pretty stubborn because he likes where he is, but yeah. So okay, I personally am probably gonna go with a 6.5. That's okay. What I have it at. What about for you?
I'm at a 7 right now.
7, okay.
I can see your side about being a 6.5. I wanted to give it that mid.
So you think it's a good film overall?
Yeah, I think it's a good film. I think that little cinematography aspect pushes it up for there. It'd probably be like a 6.8 for me. But I think the acting was good enough, and I think this story, I think the ending gives a little push that it wanted to be.
Yeah.
But I don't fully agree with everybody else's rating of how high it is. I can see the whole story around being first person, because that's what carries the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just personally not interested in the story enough for me to be invested the whole time.
Yeah, so. I feel like if the second act did the better job, like actually built off the first act, well, I think it could have been there, but it just wasn't there for me.
Yeah. All right, cool. So our average ratings based off that, just me and Noah, is a 6.75. And we are going to put this in our movie tier list, which will be in the description. And you can go check out and search up any movies that maybe you've seen that we've rated, and then you can see how it ranks on our list.
Thank you for watching.
See you guys next time.